this program, we always remind you that your children did not write any applications to come into your family. Yourself and your partner decided that you wanted to have children. Yes, including myself. No, I did not apply to be a member of my family, my father and my mother. I didn't apply. They both said, okay, well, that's first. And I appeared. I arrived. I'm here. So I'm there headed, one way or the other. But headed with a condition. The condition is that I play as a team member. You know, that govern our team, these boundaries we have built. Last episode, or rather, last two episodes before we did the rounding up episode for season 5, we talked about boundaries. Okay? If we do not build the communication bridges early enough, the boundary building processes will just be cosmetic, because you need to be sincere in your communication relationships, yourself, your children, ourselves, our children. We need to be sincere with ourselves, sincere in our emotions. When we feel vulnerable, we don't go to hide to say, oh, let them not, they don't see you in your moments of vulnerability, your beaten down moments. Who should? And it become teachable moments for you to share with them. And you'll be surprised where that the sucker from that particular puts his or her arms around you. Daddy, don't worry, okay. Mommy, it's gonna be all right. And you look at how he might be wondering, does he know what he's talking? Yeah, yes, they believe like it's gonna be okay one way or the other. Because that is gonna be okay. You're gonna have to play it back at some point. It's okay. You know, you told me that it's gonna be okay. Well, for it to be okay, things might have to change somewhat. The child will remember he told you it's going to be okay. So for it to be okay, well, we might not have this for a while. We might not go here for, you might not be able to do this for a while. It's painful for me to be saying that, but then he told me it'll be okay. It's going to be okay. So, well, that way we'll get there. And as soon as possible, we'll get back to that issue in there, in person, in reality. You can be there in person and you're not there. Okay? Don't worry, we've added something very special from this season. Okay? We've gone a little bit. Every season we're looking for ways to improve on the program. I won't tell you what it is. When we get to that point, you probably tell us what you think about it if you've been a regular follower of the Slow Parenting podcast. Okay, so your children need for you to be there. It's not about the things you give them. It's not just by your being at home locked up somewhere, or locked up somewhere physically, or locked up somewhere virtually. Okay, you are there, they're sitting there, they're sitting around you maybe, but then you are there on your device, phone, laptop, tablet, name it. You are home, but you are not home. You need to be home. You need to be there for them. You need to teach them that good communication is two-way, and two-way communication has specific parameters by which it's measured. You have to pay attention to the people or the person that with whom you are communicating, verbally and non-verbally, meaning verbal attention and non-verbal attention. You have to be physically eye contact, listening, and feedback. You cannot give appropriate feedback if you are not listening, if you are not attentive. If you do not establish eye contact, you will not see that child, there's a drop of tears, some drops of tears down the face of that child. You will not see it. And what is it? You're going on your, what is it? Talk, speak, I'm here, I'm listening to you. You are not listening. And some sensitive children will just walk away. And most times, those kind of situations are difficult to remedy. The child forms the opinion that you don't have time for him, for her, for them. They find solutions. And well, we've told you, the big parent, the big great grandparent, the future grandparent is out there. The present, the past, the present, and the future grandparent is out there. It's called the internet. It's called social media. They'll go and search out what they had wanted to, come to you to discuss or to share with you and hear. Okay. And well, community members even let me be done with the intro, and then we have so much already in. A community member here says, what if I am a single parent working multiple jobs? I can always be there. How do I offer presence when my time is limited? It's not quantity. It's not a matter of quantity. And again, it's a function of your being real with them. Let them know your work schedule. And when you are around, which means you are going, you need attention yourself. But remember again, they didn't beg for you to have them. Let's understand that. Okay. Now, you work multiple jobs. You know your situation, discuss it or discuss them. And let them buy into, oh, mom comes home, is going to have like an hour. Okay, let's engage them. They will bring more help to the table than you think if you engage them. Children like responsibilities, but we often think, oh, they can handle that or those. If you share them, if you show them how to, they will be there for you. They will make those multiple jobs easier in some ways because they won't add to your, well, stress if they know that the times you come home, okay, what has happened? You attend to them. Mom, welcome, dad, welcome. They know that you need another hour's rest before you move on to your next job if you live in such environment, okay? And they will help you. They'll probably have something ready for you to eat or, take a shower, something. They will be there to help you, but you need to engage them. And that's part of being there. When we talk about being there, some parents think that you are talking about, oh, you have to do everything for them. No, it would even be, they're just there. They are there, you're, taking care of the laundry. They're there talking with you. What they are talking about might not really be in your own universe. Let them talk to you about those things. And oh, really? Yeah. Make the conversation interesting. Okay. And then, okay, now we've had this time, mom has to resume working and that. Okay, can I just rest a bit? I'm going to be free on Sunday, we have more time. Those days that you are not going to go to work, yes, you need your me time. Agreed. I'm an advocate for the kids. Yes, advocate for them. You need your meal time. They also need our mommy time, our time with our mommy, our time with our daddy. So you create those times, those once in a while times, qualitatively spent with them. It doesn't have to be they don't have school to go to, they have school work to do. So you have your times to all come together and do some fun things together. It could be every day. It's not about the length of time, the amount of time that you spend doing stuff. It could just be that you come home, somebody has gone to bed or somebody is waiting for you to be the one to talk to him or her. Oh, you're up. Dad, you're back. Wait, it's your bedtime. Oh, Dad, I'm waiting for you. Wonderful. Even wherever your child is waiting for you to talk him or her in bed. You get home, oh, sorry, she's there, maybe slept off on the couch or whatever. Pick her up, maybe wake her up. Take her, daddy's here now. Take her. You are building bond, bridges that nobody will break going forward if you maintain and sustain them. Okay. Someone else has says, how do I know when I'm doing enough emotionally for my children? When they are happy, when you are happy, when you are not stressed, when they are not stressed. Okay? When everybody could talk with everybody relaxed. Okay? When everybody in the family in that setting could relate, communicate with everybody else without anybody blowing up. Then everybody is in some kind of emotional equilibrium, including yourself. Okay? So if you are on a high in terms of being upset over one thing or the other they are doing, and you are not communicating, there are not things you have discussed in your boundaries, well, it's never too late. So have that discussion and then engage them in complying or cooperating, depending on their ages. Okay? Okay. So basically, it is about when the home front is quiet, not malicious quietness. Malicious quietness is where everybody is just staying away so that they don't get in each other's way. I shared in one of the episodes here, one of the books too, about the practice of my kids then just disappearing from anywhere they could be seen as I return home from anywhere. Okay? Why? It bothered me. After a while, I had to ask the best one, what's going on? I said, Daddy, well, I had to do something about that. I'm home, I'm present, but then my presence is not useful. So they disappear, they go away. So we're not talking about things that are happening in mass. We're talking about things that we've experienced, we're experiencing all of us, we've learned over time. Okay, we'd had to adjust, we'd had to train ourselves to, you know, it's a give and take thing. It's not a one person give. It's not the children give, you give, they give. Then your emotional given emotional balance, you get to that equilibrium I talked about. Everybody's okay. Everybody's smiling and meaning smiling. Everybody's sleeping, meaning sleeping. Everybody maybe are doing things together, and it's not that let this thing not drop now. This person is going to explode if this thing drops. Of course, things will happen if you know things that should not happen, but you're already taking care of them in your boundary setting. Should this happen, this is what's going to happen. So people would know what the next steps are. And he said, what the next person here says, when I try to connect emotionally and do things with my son, he shrugs me off or gives me one word and says, how do I break through that wall? That didn't start the day you noticed that. We've talked about that already. Okay? If you have made it a point to be there from infancy, is saying things to you, you notice, you observe, you respond, you share your own, well, stress. If I don't understand it, but just talk sometimes. At some point, you think they're not listening, think they are not understanding. They will understand in their own ways, and maybe also respond in their own ways with time. But when you've made it a habit, so you don't even know what you have everything, go and play with your toys. And the child keeps going to play with his toys or her toys. Go and play with your toys. Go and play with your toys. The toys become you. So by the time you now need to share, the child is switched off already. the child already had other playmates. You're not part of it. Remember, I told you, you are the number one toy your children want. You. Okay? We're going to play, I'm going to give you that surprise that I talked about, that new thing we talked about. Okay, we have put all of what this, distilled what this episode is about in a video. Okay, so I'm going to play back that video for you now. And when we come back, well, let's hear or let's read what you feel or what you have to say about the video. Okay, so we'll take a short break now to play you the gift of being there. See you at the other end.
The gift of being there. We live in a culture that praises provision. We hear things like, "You're such a good parent, you work so hard. Wow, your child is lucky. Look at all you've given them." But rarely do we hear, "You're really present for your child. They're lucky to have your time." Yet that's the one thing many children silently crave. Not just the things we buy, but the time we give. Not just the help we offer, but the heart we show. Let's slow it down for a second. You've done everything you can. You paid for good schools, bought a tablet for learning, signed them up for lessons. You feel responsible, proud. But then, one day you walk into the room, and your child isn't excited about the device. They're not smiling about the new shoes. They're quiet, not angry, not upset, just absent in a way that feels loud. And something in you realizes they miss you. Not your money, you. Here's the truth. Children don't measure love by what you give. They measure it by how often you show up. Not just physically, but emotionally. You can be under the same roof and still feel miles apart. Because proximity isn't presence. And being in the room isn't the same as being with them. So what do we do with this? How do we stop just showing up on paper and start showing up in person? Let's walk through some honest steps. Not to condemn, but to build something better. Look beyond the checklist. We often confuse doing things for our kids with being with them. We focus on food, school fees, devices, and activities, all good things. But sometimes, in all that hustle, we forget to simply sit still with them, to be there in the silence, to ask how are you really, and wait for the answer. Be willing to be interrupted. Presence means inconvenience. It means letting the email wait. It means pausing the show. It means looking up when they walk in. Not later, not tomorrow, now. Because every time you choose them over distraction, they notice. And it tells them, I matter to you, not just what I achieved, not just what I cost, me. Don't underestimate the ordinary. You don't need to plan a perfect outing or give a big speech. Presence often looks like doing regular things, together. Folding laundry while laughing. Sitting quietly while they draw. Cooking dinner and letting them talk about nothing and everything. It's in these ordinary moments that lifelong bonds are formed. Learn to reconnect without shame. There will be days when you get it wrong, days you're tired, distracted, emotionally unavailable, but presence doesn't demand perfection. It just asks for honesty. You can go back and say, hey, I wasn't really there earlier. I want to do better. Can we talk now? That one sentence can heal more than you realize. Choose consistency over grand gestures. Your child doesn't need one big moment. They need small, repeated reminders that you care. They need to hear your voice when it's not correcting. They need to feel your hand on their shoulder even when nothing's wrong. They need to know that your love doesn't just show up when they're performing, but also when they're just existing. Here's the big idea. Your child doesn't just need things. They need you. Not the version of you that's always in a rush. Not the version that's always exhausted or half listening. They need your attention, your compassion, your presence. It won't always be easy, but over time, your consistent presence becomes their emotional foundation. It becomes the reason they feel secure, the reason they believe they matter. So today, don't just ask, what have I provided? Also ask, have I truly been present? Let's raise children who don't just grow up well-fed and well-dressed, but children who feel deeply seen, fully heard, and deeply loved. Not because we were perfect, but because we were there.
Wow. Well, okay. Let's just let's read. Let's give us your thoughts or your views about the video and the issues that are raised in the video, in comments, in chats. Okay. So please, it's sorry, I think I'm having multiple YouTube and another channel clashing here. Then feedback. So please let's have your feedback concerning the video. Like I said, it's a new thing we have. If you recall, we always like use videos that would have taken online, but we decided to produce our own videos in line with what the particular episode is about. Takeaway. Look forward to reading your comments about it. Before as we go on, there was another comment here. This really challenged me. Too hard to connect. How do I give space without being emotionally unavailable? Uh, Home, and you create fun activities you can do together over a period of time, and everybody look forward to it. When it's done, you then know what next. Maybe your schedule. They know what you're going to do next. Okay, mom is going to go to work now. Okay, it's mom's time to sleep. Yep, or is that time to sleep? Or some other things, specific things, even if they don't know, announce it. But you have spent time with them. Okay, guys, do you permit? Okay, I just need to go do this now, and then you go. But you spend time with them. But also make sure that as you are doing that, you are nudging them to their next lines of agreed things to do for the day, even for them, which means you have chores and responsibilities for each of them, depending on their ages, as you go to do other things. And if what you are leaving to go to do is not something that they will distract you on, go do it with them. like we've talked, you saw the child there, folding the laundry with the mom. They're doing it. Two things are happening. You're spending time with that child. You're showing that child you can fold your laundry yourself and how to do it. So it's quality time. It is quality time. It's not, oh, you are there every time with nothing happening. Something needs to happen with the time you spend with your children. Okay. I think this I had read earlier to say this really challenged me. I was talking about the video. So this really challenged me to rethink what being a good parent looks like. It's not just about school fees and food on the table. Yes, it's not. Those are important. They are key, but those are not absolutely the only things that your children need. They need you. You need to be there for them. Okay, you are there for them to provide those things. Yes, we clap for you. We clap for ourselves. It's all of us. We clap for ourselves, but they need more. They need you more. Okay. So you guys don't even appreciate what I go through to put food on. Who sent you? You sent yourself, remember? Again, you applied for them to arrive in your family. Yeah, that's the story. That's the story. It might not sound, you might not find it funny. It is not funny. You invited them to come. They're there. Do you invite guests to come for a program and you do not plan to take care of them? No, you don't. The difference here is that you invited these fellas for a lifetime. That's why we say that parenting is a full-time, lifetime job. You invite them over. You took on that job. Okay. Even when they've had their own children, you're still parenting them. And good luck to you. If you now become a retired grandpa or grandma, it's okay. Okay, I will take you to grandma. So you continue to also parent your own grandchildren. It's happening real time now, a lot. Okay. And it's not a bad thing, really, because again, we've also had an edition of episode of that concerning the grandparent. It helps the grandparents, it helps the children, it helps you for your children to have own parents, okay? But that's not our show for today. Maybe at some other time, maybe we'll revisit that at some other time, okay? Definitely going to watch this again with my partner. Both need to hear this. Thank you so much. Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Thank you so much. Another community member here says, my parents raised me by using fear, and it worked on me. I turned out a responsible adult. Why shouldn't I raise my kids the same way? Why are you asking the question? Wrong. That's why you're asking the question. So why are you asking the question? If you feel or felt comfortable the way your parents raised you, you wouldn't bring it up. You're bringing it up because you feel that, well, there must be a better way. And you probably already know that better way. And that's what we're on today. Helping, doing, smiling, laughing. Okay? It's you that need to correct your ways or check yourself as a child. But in this case, now you're asking, why shouldn't I raise my kids the same way? I think you've answered that already. I think you already know the answer. You should not raise your kid that way because you know it was not right in the first place. And I believe that that's why you are asking the question. Raise your children in love. Correct them in love. Discipline their children in love. It might not be all smiles, but even have that conversation. Do you know what this is going to happen now? Yes, Daddy. What happened? I did so. What did we agree? That I should not do it. Okay. So what should happen? We agreed I should take 2 strokes of the cane. Okay. Now, we come back to this. The child has already told you I know I've misbehaved. I know my offense. I know well, the repercussion. It's up to you not. It's okay. Again, no, daddy, let it go. The one that continues and says, what? Well, the two strokes of the cane maybe become 3 or 4. But then we agreed it was 2. And we agreed it was 2 when we thought the 2 would make sense to you. It doesn't look like 2 makes sense to you. Some people listening to me from some parts of the world will be like, what's he talking about? Well, the Bible says, spare the rod and spoil the child. What we advocate is do not discipline your children in anger. Do not overdo it. Don't harm your children and say you are disciplining them. No, that's not love. Discipline to correct. Engage for that child to know that what's happening is out because of what you've done that we agreed we should not do. That's where your boundary is your law. That's your penal code, your family penal code, or rather legal code. It's your boundaries. And every member of the family would know that, okay? So if a child needs to be corrected, corrections should be, made, okay? Another community member here says, I know kids will always tell you when they feel unseen. They would tell you, you are the one not listening. I don't agree. You are not paying attention. You are not listening. If you listen, if you paid enough attention, you will know when a child is withdrawn. And you begin to wonder, if you already had playtime, times for doing things together, and when those times come, the child doesn't want something, that's when to begin to address the issue. John, well, someone said, Richie, it looks like you like John. Well, it comes, it's handy. John, okay, yeah, Mary, good. John, what's going on? Come and tell me, what's going on? The child will tell you. But then, oh, thank God, is somewhere playing. Oh, I have time, I'm free. Wrong. You're building a time bomb that will explode to become what you are just asking the question about now. Okay, I know kids won't always tell you, no, you don't know. That's not true. They will always tell you. In short, the norm is that your children will tell you what is wrong. If you have or had built, they will tell you. That's why in that video we said, let them tell you the nothings and the somethings. They're standing there, they're just talking. Listen, in that nothing, and those nothings, something is there. If you are listening, if you're paying attention, you pick, oh, you mean, yeah. The child now gets into gear to now discuss the real issues that is really matter. And then you can attend to it, okay? That question or that contribution didn't end. They say, what are some behaviors I should pay attention to? All, not some. The good, the bad, the ugly. So, and your response to each, it's not going to be the same. There's no one size fits all response to behavior or to things happening. Okay? You address the issues again according to your culture, your tradition, your family, of where you live, founded in your boundaries that you have set. Your children will be the one to quote those laws. Mom, remember we said I can only wash 5 plates in a week. If it's going to become 6, have that conversation as to why it has it and negotiate. Don't just put 6 plates there and say, go and watch it. If you don't want to answer such queries, don't put figures to the things they have to do. Some children will count it for you and leave the remaining plates there. And they wouldn't have been wrong. And then you'll be upset. The dishes, what do you mean? What about this one? Mom, I was supposed to do 5. And you'll be like, what? What are you? That's what you agreed on. Okay? It's not funny. That's what you agreed on. You are teaching them something. They are paying attention. Maybe you are the one not paying attention. And you should pay attention, okay? Then meaning the quiet science that they are starving for presence. Now that I know that proximity is not always presence. We've touched on it already. You already have time to do some things with your children together, and they expect those times. I talked earlier about talking someone in, and the child is there on the couch, knows where the bed is, didn't go, is waiting for you to come, maybe for one reason or the other, traffic, late meetings, or whatever. You came home late, and the child has slept off on the couch. Okay? It's waiting for you still, even in that sleeping state. Even if you didn't want to wake that child up, you shouldn't really try to take the child to the bed, talk the child into, maybe in the morning, maybe time you're saying your prayer, everybody saw, oh, sorry, apologize, remember to talk about it, to apologize. John, sorry I came back late. I met you at the couch, you were already sleeping, so I took you. So sorry. I had, well, traffic. Discuss it. The child knows you would know you care about him, you care about her, that you care about them. But when you just move on as if nothing had happened, they too move away as if their attention for the things you now think are important or serious for you to discuss, they're not there. You find it difficult to reach them. They might also then be there, like you are there at that time. They are there, you're sitting down there just listening to you. I had a very difficult conversation with my son, and that's why I will end this episode of the program sometime. Said that, I could just sit there and just listen to you for the next 2 hours. I'm sitting there, I'm listening to you. That wasn't, I didn't find that funny, but then it happens. It said, because it says, I'm like, for real? Yeah. And that's at the point that they could now speak for themselves and be sincere and open with you. You could get angry. You are being disrespectful. You could do all of those, but then go back and think what that child is saying, is it a lie? Like I asked myself, what are you saying? Is it a lie? He wasn't. So who needed to adjust? Me, not the child. He just pointed out something to you that you need to do something about. That's not being disrespectful. It's actually respectful. That's why he's telling you. You could keep quiet, you could not say it out. And life goes on. Well, does it? Okay? So our children need us. They need our presence. They need our being there. Our presence is probably the best gift they desire. Not that they don't want those other things. We've always said here, the basic needs, you are not doing your children any favor by providing them with basic needs. Accommodation, feeding, health, education, clothing, recreation. No, you're not doing them any favor. The basic needs that they need to grow, to become normal members of society, in which they will also function to now build their own relationships, including build their own family. So thank you so very much, everyone viewing, following us. on this episode of the Slow Parenting Program. Please, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe. Okay, if those community members don't send in those questions or comments, or feedback, we'll just be here talking to you. It'll be a lecture, okay? And we don't want this program to be a lecture, okay? Please engage. Share this podcast to your friends, especially parents that you know might be struggling in some of these areas that we are talking about. And every parent needs to hear a whole lot of this, and then also know someone they could also reach with them. So please subscribe, engage, and follow us, please, on this YouTube channel. And you can also engage with us at our other social media handles. Okay, it will be a pleasure to read your comments, your questions, your feedbacks and perspectives, and we will respond. So thank you so very much for following us, for joining us today, and being there for us and encouraging us by subscribing. Okay, it's still the Slow Parenting podcast on Nostalgia Media. Every Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, US and Canada, we're here. 7 p.m. West African Time, including Nigeria, we're here. So it'll be a pleasure to see you again next episode. Bye-bye.